Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on what time you are tuning in. My name is Rachael Goldsworthy, and I'm on a journey to improve my life by 2 millimeters each and every week, and I want to do that with you. How are you? What have you been up to? Winter is here. Oh my goodness, I've put my scarf on, I've got my blankie on, I've got this beautiful little warm sort of sheepskin, I don't know, whatever you call it. It's like an hoodie, but it's a blankie. So it's really good. It's keeping me warm. That's the main thing. Winter is definitely here. We've got snow on the weekend. We had Gemma down at the snow this weekend. Perisher is open. It's official. And it's really cool and cold this weekend. But 65 centimetres of fresh snow dropping in on Perisher, overnight temperatures of a -3 degrees. So if you are thinking of camping, you may want to rethink it, but it's still possible because I have seen camper vans go down there. I have camped down there, and I've walked to the top of Mount Kosciuszko actually, and that was beautiful. It was really, really pretty. But make sure you take your photographs before you get to the top of the summit, because if you don't take your photographs before the top of the summit, when you're coming back, sometimes the fog rolls in and you miss those shots. So, yeah, wind is about 19 kilometres per hour, so I'm not too sure. Kosciuszko and Guthiga roads, chains are required apparently, so if you are heading down there, make sure you think about those things before you go. And Alpine Way Road is open to Bullocks Flat, the ski tube. So all things heading towards a good bumper ski season, and everybody's looking forward to that. You can hear my puppy dogs in the background. Topsy is loving this new bed that she's got. I don't know whether she'll come and say hello later on tonight, but that will be a little bit of fun as well. Couple of topics I wanted to cover tonight. I was, Pidgey, update on Pidgey as well. Pidgey, there's now 2 Pidgeys. There's only one that was unwell, and he landed on my, for those of you who haven't known this story, it was raining a couple of weeks ago, and there was a little bird that landed on my veranda, and he looked wet, bedraggled, and he didn't look like he was going to make it throughout the night. But anyway, we just made sure that he was there, and now, as a result of having Pidgey, I fed him. I brought him in of a night time, but I put him out during the day just to make sure that he knew his mother, and that his mummy and daddy came down during the day and made sure that they were able to say hello and possibly teach him a few life lessons so he was ready to take flight with the rest of them. Hey, Jem, how are you? Nice to have you on the line. Thanks for being here. And so anyway, Pidgey has been there for 7 days. I didn't think he was going to last, but I thought I'll give him a good couple of last days of his life and feed him up and keep him warm and so forth. And then, lo and behold, a couple of nights ago, I don't know. I'm gonna try and tempt fate here. This is, I don't know if you can see this. This is the guy's a bit messy. Oh, can you see them? Oh, I don't know. I don't know whether that's the guys there. So that's them. That's Pidgey, and we'll pop them back there into bed. Got microphones, all sorts of things going on here. I'll just adjust this. Yeah, so 1 became 2, and yeah, it was really great to have them there. So that was a lot of fun. So every day we go and do what we need to do and spend the time together and watching them grow and foster a nurturing environment for them. And there's also fostering a nice environment for me as well, because I don't know about you, but there's something pretty cool about spending time with something and learning about them. And as Jem is saying, 2 Pidgeys now, so I know not everybody doesn't like pigeons, but I couldn't let him suffer and not be well. And then, of course, when somebody hears something good, they share it with their friends, and that's a good thing. So it's really nice to be able to share the life and share the love amongst it all, and have 2 Pidgeys as a result. So that's great. So today we are covering off on a couple of things. This coming couple of weeks ahead, Judith Owens, I don't know whether any of you are looking forward to seeing her, but fantastic jazz singer, and she's going to have James Morrison with her, so I'm looking forward to hearing him as well, and that's going to be a bit of fun. Wilding, I don't know whether anyone's gone to see the movie Wilding. Definitely go and have a look at it. It's all about, I won't spoil it, but braving something new, and couple that bought a block of land and made it into something wonderful. So I won't spoil the surprise, but a really good movie if you're looking for something to do in these colder days outside of the weather or inside. And Tasmania, I'm going to be heading down there in a little while. Really lovely to see the Derwent River and a few other activities that I've got planned down there. So looking forward to that. Big shout out to Pauline and the crew and Shaz and all of the people down there, so looking forward to that. What was I going to share with you? Oh, baking this week. This is my latest. I'll pop a photo up, but I made some muffins today. This is the muffins that I made. So I don't know. Oh, they smell really good. I made some banana muffins. Really simple. I cheated a little bit. Used a bit of a packet mix, bit of extra banana for oomph, but they will be good for the office tomorrow for the girls. I was also going through, remember that book I read, Luna? And it was great, really, really good book on harnessing the power of the moon and the different seasons that you go through and that sort of thing. But I noticed that I'd earmarked this page, and I don't know whether you guys earmark pages, or not, but I earmarked this page, and the page was actually, I'm going to show it to you. It said align with the energy and then playlist. And then it got me thinking about playlists, and I love music and I love playlists, and I don't know about you, if you've got some sort of motivational playlist when you go to the gym, or if you've got a relax playlist when you're going to bed of a night time, you want to listen to something. If you haven't got one, whether it's iTunes, Spotify, or pull out the old CD, I've got all of those different things, but mainly I like the CD. I really like to listen to that, and even at night time when I'm going to bed, a playlist like an ocean sounds or that sort of thing, or the whales. I've got a whale one as well, so that's good. But playlists, it got me thinking about different playlists that we have in our lives and what we do with our lives. And I'm not too, Gemma's saying your muffins are the best, save me one for Wednesday. Oh, that's right, Gemma's got the day off tomorrow. That's really sad, Gemma. I'm not too sure whether they're going to make it, because we've got 4 people that are probably going to be eating those with myself, but we will save you one, don't you worry about that. And so it got me thinking about a playlist for life, because when we're in our life, sometimes we're so busy, we're doing everything that we can do to just sort of go from one day to the next, aren't we? Whether it's work commitments, or whether it's family commitments, or whether you've got birthdays coming up, or there's an accident that happened. Big shout out to Robert. I hope your collarbone is okay. The operation went well, and my thoughts and love are with you and the family. And Shane, big shout out to you as well. You had your face reconstructed after hitting a tree and coming off second best. So big shout out to you too. I hope you have a fast recovery. Gemma's saying, I'll have to pop in for the muffins, LOL. Hey David, how are you? Nice to see you. So I was talking about a playlist for life. And when you think about the things that happen in your life, I know for me, all of our lives, we have ebbs and flows in them. And you think about the things that make you feel great, and some of the things that are exciting, some of the things that are challenging, some of the things that bring you joy, some of the things that light you up, whatever that may be, what gives you purpose, and I guess what demonstrates progress, because that's one thing that I've worked out in life, is that it doesn't matter what you're doing and where you're at, as long as you're heading forward or 2 steps forward, maybe 1 step back, maybe 2 steps forward, maybe 1 step back. But as long as you've got some sort of progress, and not every day's sunshine and rainbows. Some days are really cold and snowy like today. Some days are warm and fuzzy. Some days are challenging at the best of times. So you've got to know that playlist of your life and what are those things that get you back to ground center. So I know the things that light me up and get me excited in what I'm doing. Work has always been one of those things, but you always can't use work as a crux to go back to make you feel good. But I think with work for me, it's always been something that I know and I love. I love real estate. I love buying houses. I love doing them up and then on selling them or keeping them. And I love helping people buy houses because it's been a great vehicle for so many different avenues in my life, and it has allowed me to learn about residential. It's learned me about commercial properties, about strata, and afforded me the opportunity to gain my license and just spend a lot of really nice times with people that, whether it's their first home buyers, big shout out to Tony and Chloe and Brock, they're wanting to buy their first home. And it's just, you know, it might be a second home, it might be an investor that's coming into the market, it might be a commercial buyer that's looking at buying a block or a building, or it might be somebody interstate or overseas that wants some advice on something that they've been looking at buying themselves and really don't know where to start. Because I think often when you've got that playlist, unless you have a playlist that works for you, you sometimes might go through the song list and go, oh, no, I don't like that song. Oh, I don't like that song. And you keep on playing it forward. If you've got a premium Spotify, if you've got a premium account with iTunes or whatever it is that you get, that you've got that opportunity, you can fast forward the songs. But in life, it's not always the way. And sometimes in life, you have to go through that whole playlist. And as long as you've got something that you can go back to, some sort of playbook that you can pull out or a playlist that you can pull out that go, okay, well, I know I love reading books. So if I want to relax and unwind, I can read a really nice book. The same thing can be said about a workbook. I can read a book that inspires me to do something or change the way I do something in the office. And that's a great thing. I love spending time in nature and being amongst the water and animals and like feeding the birds. I've got a bunch of, it's like a little wildlife sanctuary in the backyard here. I've got water dragons. I've got birds. I've got butcher birds. I've got magpies. I have the rainbow lorikeets are up in the tree. I had a cockatoo earlier. I had a crow yesterday. And it's almost like the halfway house where you have the different birds from the different areas. You've got the red rump parrots. You've got the blackbirds that have that beautiful song in November. So feeding the birds is just a wonderful thing for me as well. And that's one of my things that bring me back to centre. Being on the water, being by the water, just going for a walk, they say that your stress levels are reduced by about 30%. Can you believe it? 30% by just looking at a landscape of water. So find out what your ground centre is. Find out what makes it an easy playlist for you, because sometimes you will go through challenges in life, as we've all faced. Hey Chloe, how are you? Nice to have you on the line. Hey Hayley, how are you? Slay, Hayley. She's taught me all this slang. I love it, but it's great. I mean, I learn so much from everybody around me, and that's what I say to you. If you don't have that playlist, whether it's buying a house and you're not too sure where to start, or whether it's in life itself and you're not too sure with the challenges, you just need to lean into that challenge as an opportunity to say, okay, well, how can I look at this differently, or what's the opportunity in this that's presenting? Because there's always some things that are happening in our lives that we're unsure why they're happening. You might be putting an offer on a house and you don't know whether that's going to be accepted, and there's a really nervous wait for people, and I get that. And unfortunately with those things, you never know until the 11th hour. But if you surround yourself with the right people and you put the offers forward, and even if the house doesn't become your own, you're one step closer to knowing what the right home is, or finding that right home by all of the different steps that you take. So it might be that playbook of steps. So even with putting an offer in on a house, you know, you've got your mums and your dads or your family members or your real estate agents that have done it before and they want to help you. Make sure that you win and make sure that you secure what you want to secure. And sometimes it's not always possible, but equally, the experience that you have going through that process helps you for the next property that you might look at. And you might look at things a little bit differently. You might get tougher on the negotiations. You might look at the way in which you formulate your offer. You may look at different things. But as I say, always coming back to your centre. So whether it's kayaking, I love spending time with family and friends, those sorts of things, as I'm sure all of you do as well. And if you're able to have that playbook or that playlist in your life that you know, okay, that makes me feel joyful, that makes me feel playful, that makes me feel happy. And if you go to that happy place more often than not, then you find yourself in those moments when it is a bit challenging, when it is a little bit tough, when you don't know what to do, or you don't know where you've got to go, or what the next best move is. Just take a step forward and lean into that playbook. So I like to have a playlist on my, whether it's Spotify or what have you. As I said, mine is CDs of a nighttime with my night routine. And that's a really nice space to get to, a nice calm space before you go to bed. During the day, it might be huddle a team together and have a nice lunch together. Or if you don't have time to have the lunch, you can all sort of share lunch when you can get an opportunity. And it's an opportunity to chat to others and to hear what is going on and to learn from others, because that's one thing that I know. I don't have all the answers in life, and I've never said that I do, but I also think that if you lean into others and lean into those that have done things that you want to achieve, then they can help you on your journey. And if you help other people, they're automatically going to help you. So it's a symbiotic relationship between each and every one of us. And not that life is transactional, but I've found that if you give without expectation, then it comes back to you tenfold. So I say lean into it, find out what your playbook is, and find out what lights you up. And if you don't know what lights you up, ask your friends and just say, what do I talk about a lot? Or what do I seem to enjoy in my life? Or what are the things that you think make me happy? Because sometimes you can't see it yourself, but I know when somebody talks to me about puppy dogs. I go to a house inspection, and I went to see one of my tenants' house the other day. Big shout out to Kelly and her beautiful family. And her dog is just gorgeous. He's just like this big, I think it's called Marmot, the one that's the herding dog, the big white dog. Anyway, Kelly could probably pop it in the comments below, but he is a rescue dog, and he just lit up the room and made me really happy when I got there. And I love talking about dogs. My dad's a canine judge, and he's judged internationally, and he's also judged within Australia. And it's I've been brought up around dogs, so our family's always had a dog or number of dogs, and I've got 2 Scottish Terriers in my backyard, but they're not really in my backyard. They're actually on the leather lounge as we speak, with the air conditioning going. We did have SBS chill going before as well, so they love that. But find out what your playbook is. And when we're talking about snow and everything else, I sort of found a quote as well, and it said, unless you're the lead dog, the view never changes. So in essence, what I took from that was sometimes you do have to lead with your best foot and make sure that you're looking at the different landscapes in life. And if you don't know what your playbook is, or you don't know what the next right move is, just ask somebody, ask a friend, phone a friend, or whatever it might be. Hey, Jody, how are you? Nice to have you on the line. Hey, Jax, how are you? Good to have you here. Marama, that's it. Haley, Marama is the dog that they have. It's this beautiful big white dog, and they keep your herds safe. And if you want a dog that's very protective and looks after you, but is a big goofball in the family, that's the one for you. One other thing I was looking at as well is, in addition to the playbook, just a quick thing that we've sort of been looking at doing within the office is just 2 questions to ask ourselves, and you might be able to adapt it slightly for personal things. But it's 2 things. What was last week's accomplishments, and what are you working on this week? Because if you look at what you've done and you have that playbook in your week of whether it's your ideal week or whether it's those, if you know that you've got those daily disciplines and you hit those daily disciplines, and it might just be as simple as making your bed. It might be as simple as going to the gym or taking the dogs for a walk or getting up and having a cup of coffee with the puppy dogs. That might be your KPI for the week. It might be taking the kids to school each day, or picking up the kids from school. You want to make sure you spend the time with them, or take them down to the playground of an afternoon after school, or having a cooking meal together with the family, or a date night with your partner or your loved one, whoever that may be. And if you can sit down and look at those KPIs together, that playbook together. So last week's accomplishments, so you got to celebrate what you achieved. And it doesn't matter if you hit 80% of what you wanted to achieve. Hey, that's progress, isn't it? And progress is what I've found is where happiness lies, because you never let perfect get in the way of better. You just keep moving forward. And this week's priorities, what are you working on? What are the 3 top things that you're working on this week? And it might be as simple as, I'm going to drink more water. And in winter, it's really hard to drink water, I know. But I've got this little trick that I either pop in a little bit, half a teaspoon of cinnamon into the water, and then just shake it around, and then literally half a teaspoon of cinnamon. It evens out the blood sugars, so it stops the cravings. And the other thing that it does is it tastes pretty good. So it takes the dull taste out of the water. But I don't know about you, if you drink water more regularly, it tastes sweeter the more you drink it. So anyway, that's food for thought. Or it might be something as simple as, I'm going to eat 1 healthy meal a day. And, you know, you've cut down from 3 meals that weren't probably the best choices. And that was me probably about, 12 months ago. I just was so busy, or making the excuse that I was so busy with work. So I focused on changing the way I was eating, what I was doing, and drinking a bit more water. And then I incorporated a little bit more exercise. And then I was just building up that playbook slowly over time. So I started the journey probably 12 months, 2 years ago, and I'm now where I'm at. And I think 30 kilos down, and I'm not telling you to impress you, but I'm telling you because if I can do it, anybody can do it. And it's just learning with all of you and being accountable for what we're doing. So working out what our playbook is, slowly making those steps each week. What are your accomplishments from last week? Celebrating those accomplishments together, whether it's with your family, whether it's with your work colleagues, whether it's with anybody. You know, you might meet some people. I do a lot of walking in the streets and catching up and networking with people within the local community in Hawkesbury, which is lovely, you know, because you get to know the locals, and when they walk their dog, or when they, you know, take their wares out with their shops and things like that. And then what are the 3 things that you're focusing on? What are this week's priorities ahead? So then you've set that intention for the week ahead. What's your playbook in your mind that, you know, okay, I'm going to focus on drinking a bit more water, and I want to pick up the kids from school 1 day this week. And yeah, not that I have kids, but if I did have kids, I would want to spend as much time with them as I could. And yeah, just little things like that. So maybe have a few markers that you want to achieve. And also the other thing that I've learnt too is don't set the bar too high, especially in the first week that you're trying something new, because when you're trying something new, it's always hard to start something. And if you've got that position of, okay, well, I want to achieve this, but it's just such a big milestone to go from. So if you just take those baby steps, that 1 step forward, 1 step forward, 1 step forward. So make the bed, drink, you know, 2 cups of water a day, or go for a walk to the end of the street and back if you want to sort of start a walking habit, or if you're wanting to hydrate more, say I'm going to drink 2 glasses of water each day because you hadn't been drinking any water. So that's better than what you did the week before. So that might be your week's accomplishment. You might be working on a big project at work and you want to pull together this project and you're not too sure how it's going to work. But just reverse engineer it, work out what the outcome is that you want to achieve, and then chunk it down into steps. It might be 3 steps that you need to take towards that goal so that you can achieve that goal. And it's just a matter of prioritizing those action items and the things that you want to do and achieve in life together. So, yeah, that's pretty much where I'm up to there. And I did have something I was going to show you before, but I seem to have lost it, but that's okay. No, here it is. There we go. Dropped in my lap as soon as I said it. The universe is looking out for me. So, yeah, I was in the kitchen the other day and I found this screw. And it's funny, just a simple screw in a door holds the door together. And if the screw's not in the right way, the door won't swing, and the rest is history. And it's kind of the same things in life, you know, if you go left or go right, depending on which way you go. So that's why I say to you, have that playbook that you've got in your mind, what you want to achieve. And don't worry too much about where you end up, as long as you're making progress. Don't be too hard on yourself. I think that's one thing. I've always been pretty hard on myself over the years, but you know, you just got to do the best that you can do with the circumstances that you're given and hope for the best outcome that you can. And if you don't know what you want to achieve or where you're going or what's going on, all you got to do is put one foot in front of the other, surround yourself with some beautiful friends, family, work colleagues, people that love you and support you and want you to win, because who you pick to spend your time with is really important to the playlist that you're going to enjoy over your life's time. Because if you have great people around you that want you to win, then you are going to win. And even if it's just a small step about, you know, baking cakes. I mean, the guys in the office are supporting me and they get to do the taste testing and the quality control. But it's helping me learn a different skill set that I haven't had much time to do in the past, but I'm making time to do a little bit more cooking more recently. And even sort of taking some time out in the office, from the office, to be able to do some activities with the pumpy dogs, or just to spend some time with mum and dad and friends and things like that. So it's really important. Talking about friends, one of my friends, they wanted to meet their special person. So anyway, the other day we sat down, and I've got a little bit of history with dating apps, because 4 of my friends have wanted to go on and meet their life partner. And being in real estate, you always write a story about a house, don't you? So you've got to create this landscape, this story about the house that's enticing for somebody to want to look at it, but be accurate and authentic in the approach with the house. Because there's nothing worse than having a set of photographs of this house that's online and this beautiful description of this gorgeous home, and then when the buyer gets there, it's like, ooh, let down. This is not what I was thinking. This is not what the house that I thought it was going to be. And it's completely different to what was advertised. And with the dating app, I've had 4 friends, as I say, or 3 friends actually, that wanted to go on a dating app and meet their life partner. And I wrote their bios for them. And each of them, we put the bios out there over the last couple of years, and each of them, they've found their life partner to spend time with, which is just fabulous. And there's one friend recently I caught up with them a couple of weeks ago, maybe a week ago, and they were wanting to meet their life partner. So we had fun. We wrote this bio for them, and, you know, it's really hard to write things about yourself. Good things about yourself, but when somebody else writes it, it's so easy, isn't it? Because you can say, oh, my friend, they're amazing, you know, they're a really good communicator, or they're just such fun to be around, they've got great personality, they've got a good sense of humour, and they love puppy dogs, or they love cats, or whatever it is that your friend may be. So I wrote this bio, and then we put it online, and not that I told them this, but you know what it's like on a dating app. I'm not dating, so I don't know what it's like to be on a dating app at the moment. But when I put this out there, you know what it's like when you want to meet people, but you don't want to get to the playground and no one wants to, play in the playground together. So it's the same thing on the dating apps. You don't want to put this bio online or this profile online and then nobody turn up to the bio. So I didn't tell my friend this, but I wrote the bio and I thought it was pretty, alluring bio for her, and put it online. And I went through, and there was a few people. I thought, oh yeah, and these dating apps, they're really clever these days. They have like a questionnaire that they ask you, and normally like questionnaires, like a couple of questions, it's not a big deal. But this was a really detailed questionnaire. I don't even know which app it was now that we put them on, but it was, we were there for, I don't know, 15 minutes, 20 minutes answering these questions. Like, do you like socializing, or would you prefer to be at home, socializing with, your dog or your cat or whatever? Or do you like interacting at parties, or do you like, long walks along the beach, or do you like exercising? Do you like dinners out, or would you like to make dinner at home? Or, just all these questions. And they were asked in such a way that they were sort of asking the questions, and then they'd ask the same question but in a different frame format, which is like that typical DISC personality test that they do. And it's great because you have to present the way that you are going to be on the date, which I think is brilliant, because there's nothing worse than when you show a home and, you're trusting that the agent's got the right photos, that the house has got the description that you want, that you go out and have a look at this house and you just think, oh my gosh, you said it's, cozy, and it's beautiful, and it's like gorgeous backyard. And the gorgeous backyard it needs total renovation, but it's going to be gorgeous. So don't worry. And we're selling the dream. But you can't sell the dream when you're doing that. You've got to sell who you are. You've got to be who you are. You've got to be authentic to who you are, because that's ultimately what somebody's going to fall in love with. They're going to fall in love with your authenticity. They're going to fall in love with who you are as a person. And the same thing with a house. You're going to fall in love with that house for the things that it is, the features and benefits, whether it's walking distance to the shops and you can go and get your, macchiato or your latte or your triple caramello, whatever it might be. I'm not too sure, or it might be, close to your friends. Your mum might live next door, so you want to live in that house. It might be anything about the house. You might have a fireplace, an open fireplace, and you can see yourself sitting there around an open fireplace with your family and your puppy dogs because you love an open fireplace, and it just brings so much joy to you. So with this dating app, you had to answer these questions, and then my friend's going, oh my goodness, this questionnaire, can you imagine if somebody else is reading my questionnaire? I said, oh, well, it's probably questions that you would answer anyway, so don't worry about it. It'll be fine. I'm sure it's probably not going to be, available or what have you. It's just part of their process. And then they're probably the algorithm behind the scenes will link you with this other person. And so essentially we answered all the questions together, because as I said, it's hard sometimes answering those questions about yourself, but when you've got a friend there that's known you for 20 odd years and knows what you like as a person, knows the type of person that you probably like to date, it's a little bit easier. So we were just having the biggest belly laughs going through these questionnaires and and the questions that were asked and the types of people. And as I was saying before, I went on this dating app, put all of these things in, we answered all the questions, but I also sneakily went through and liked a few of people that this match made. It sort of said, oh yeah, that's an ideal candidate, or yeah, you would be a good match with that person. Just so that when my friend came back to the dating app the next morning, because I would think that they would check on a daily basis as to whether they've had any, you know, what do you call it, likes, or people that have messaged you or whatever it might be. And I thought it would be nice for them to come back to the app with some people that had, you know, maybe liked their profile or what have you. So I was sort of going, as though I'm filling it in, going, oh yeah, you this height, oh yeah, that eyes, and I'm liking this person that's sort of similar type of person that I think my friend will like. And lo and behold, you wouldn't believe it. Sounds a bit sneaky, but there was a method in my madness. The next morning, my friend texted me and said, you wouldn't believe it, like, I got these people that have liked my profile. I said, that's fantastic. That's amazing. Like, good for you. And it was just so much fun. And we just had a lot of fun sort of writing what we did and just doing all the things that we did there. And then all these people that were liking her, and she's been having this conversation with these wonderful people and getting to know people a little bit better. So watch this space. So that's my 4th person that I'll matchmake for these online dating apps. So I'm looking forward to that. Haven't been able to find my perfect match, but I'm looking forward to hearing all about their journey and what they're doing. And you never know. I think, maybe we could do a live, love matchmaking, and we could have that available if people wanted to connect with other people. It might be something that it could become a thing. Actually, talking about a thing, something that I've moved into is we're doing more along the lines of live, love, clean, live, love, maintenance, property maintenance, those sorts of things. So we've had a few clients in the last couple of weeks. We've done backyard cleanups for people that wanted to get rid of some rubbish. We had one that had some food grade oil that they wanted to get rid of. Really unusual requests, but sometimes it's things like that people don't know what to do with or how to recycle things in the most sustainable way. We had a full house clean from tenant vacates, so we've got people available to help you with that if you need to do sort of a tenant vacate clean, or if you're a tenant yourself and you're wanting to vacate a property and you want to make sure that you're going to get your bond back. That might be something that we could help you with. And property maintenance, obviously, we've got a great team of people available. Big shout out to you, Mick. He's one of our star people here in the team that helps us to achieve all of that. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much everything that I wanted to talk about. Oh, except one other thing, just what I need now. That's a book that I was, sorry, not a book. I was watching a YouTube video, and there was a lady by the name, her name escapes me for the minute. I will find it. Layla Hamazi, I think it is. And she was talking about don't be afraid to ask for what you want and things you want to accomplish, because if you identify what you want, then you'll know how to reverse engineer it. So it sort of dovetails back into that playlist that I was talking about. So know that what your outcome is, how you want it, all the action steps that you're going to take towards that. So maybe this week you can have a think about, okay, what's one thing that I want to achieve in the next couple of days? What's one thing? What's a quick win that I can do really well? So it might be that drinking of the water, even though we're in the middle of winter, it's freezing cold and nobody wants to drink water in the middle of winter. But maybe join with me and we'll make a commitment together that I'm going to drink at least 2 glasses of water. And by the end of next week, we can check in with one another. It might be back onto the exercise. I'm going to sort of be chiming in on that as well. So I'm going to commit to 45 minutes workout with the bike in the morning. So I'll do that again. And yeah, so drinking water and the bike is going to be one thing for me. And probably I will do more baking. Yeah, definitely more baking. But I had fun this week. There was another thing that I made. I made like those macaroons. They turned out really well. And it turns out to be that simple recipe. So I did a bit of a twist on them. You can put Nutella in them. You can put raspberry jam in them. You can do all sorts of bits and pieces. But I might put some photos up as well of me cooking. I was in my PJs this morning doing their muffins. So I think no makeup, everything. So please forgive me when I put the photograph up there. But it was just a bit of fun. I thought you might enjoy that. But yeah, just work out what you're doing. Gemma is texting me. I'm not too sure whether she's texting me. Nobody can No, she's all right. She's good. She's just letting me know. She'll be in the office on Wednesday. She's rubbing it in that she's having an extra long weekend. She saw snow this weekend, which is great. She sent me photos. I think I'll have permission to post that up online. So I'll pop a post up there to show the snow that was up in the mountains. And then also I'll post a photo of my muffin making and maybe the Pidgeys as they're growing. And it's been great. In the last 2 weeks they've had a lot of growth, and I'm hoping that you and I will have a lot of growth together with the things that we're achieving in the year ahead, and whether you're going to go and see Judith Owens, Jazz, and then also James Morrison, which is going to be amazing, or whether it's some of the other concerts that are on. I'm really looking forward to that. Tasmania is going to be a good trip. And hey Jax, how are you? Nice to have you on the line. So yeah, work out what your playbook is. Work out what those small wins are going to be to start with, which will end up being those bigger wins. So those daily disciplines that will all stack up over the years. And, it's like the basketballers, they look at doing shots each day and they might do 500 shots, but they might get up early and get to the court before everybody else. And it's just that daily discipline, what you're doing on a regular basis, that just helps you achieve your goals. So whatever it is that you're going to do this week, pop it in the comments below. Let me know what you're wanting to work towards. What's your small win that you want to work towards? What's your accomplishments for last week? What did you achieve? And then what are the 1, 2, 3 things that you're working towards this week to achieve and accomplish, or have in your playbook or your playlist of life? Live Love playlist, I'm going to call it. And I might create one and have it in the resource section, because I didn't tell everybody, but I'm kind of going to let the cat out of the bag. We are going to be putting out an app, and that app will have a lot of different things available for you. And there'll be a lot of resources that, because I get asked a lot of questions over the years, and I love to sort of have those resources available for each and every one of you. So whatever it is that you may be doing, or, whether it's buying a house or whether it's wanting to do a cold plunge, which I've learnt about over the years, they're all things that I may not be qualified in, although I was a qualified fitness leader, personal trainer, and that sort of thing. The things that I share with you are from personal experience. It's not because I'm, have any particular skill set other than life experience, which sometimes speaks more volumes than having the qualifications themselves. But I've really enjoyed the journey on my life, and I'm really enjoying the journey with you as well, and what we are doing and achieving together. And yeah, it's just a nice journey together. And yeah, I love hearing about your stories as well, whatever you're doing, and you also spur other people's on. So those comments I get from other people in there, somebody reads those comments, and then that might just be enough to tip that person in the right direction to achieve what they maybe didn't have the confidence to do last week. And maybe they head towards that and then work on something new. And as I say, progress is happiness in my world. So here's to progress. Here's to live love, taking some small steps to make it those big steps in the end, and those big actions and those big achievements for you. And I really want to support you on your journey, whatever that may be. And I look forward to catching up with you next week. Take care of yourselves and each other. And I hope you stay nice and warm and out of this cooler weather, for, I don't know, winter is definitely here. The leaves have fallen off the tree well and truly, and before we know it, everybody will be skiing and maybe cold plunge. I'm going to be doing the cold plunge for Daffodil Day in August, so if anybody wants to come along and go for a dip for Daffodil Days to raise some money for cancer foundations, we're happy to include you in that. But I'd love to do that. I may even film that, because that will be funny, getting in and amongst the cold weather. I even put one of those like yellow caps on. They give them away. So yeah, August, that's my birthday. So, and I'm doing something really nice. I'm chasing the magnetic poles, and for that aurora. Did anyone see it down at Euroa a couple of weeks ago? Amazing, just beautiful, because there was sun flares, and there was also, I might pop up a photo of the sun flares and the aurora that was there. But yeah, just there's so much to do and see in life, isn't there? And you can't do it all, but you can share those experiences together and love and learn together and enjoy what each of us is doing and see the celebration in that and cheer each other on our 2mm journey each and every week. So have a wonderful week ahead, people. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I look forward to catching up with you on the next video. Bye for now. Have a good week.